name's Henry. I go by Novocaine. I started DJing around COVID, but I had been making music since 2013. But at that time, from 2013 to 2020, nothing was really happening. I was just learning how to make music, making beats. I started doing hip hop and like trap beats. That's how I learned how to make music. And then 2020, I always liked EDM. I always liked going to raves and the EDM music. So I thought, okay, cool. Like I'm gonna go ahead and try making some of the music. Then COVID shut everything down. Around that time, I started DJing. I did Twitch, and I started learning how to DJ. And then burning back up, I found the underground scene, which is a blessing because I got into a whole different world of things. Just a whole different world with the underground raves and stuff like that. So the warehouses, the desert, stuff like that. And I was like, dang, this is super cool.
That's
and they
so
gave me an opportunity. They gave me an opportunity to go ahead and play. I was able to DJ at these events, and I was like, yo, I really like this. I got really good at promoting, and just other people around me also wanted to go to the events. So then I was like, yo, this is going on. Come catch me DJ also. So then everyone had a great time. They got to discover the underground racing, and I got to DJ in front of them, so it was cool.
Yeah.
And then I got to a point where I ended up just throwing my first Electric Jungle event. And that was after, playing all these events. I was like, you know what, I want to throw my own event. And I started Electric Jungle, and that's pretty much the beginning of how that started.
How many people came for your first event? I think it went banana. I saw that on social media. It was like a lot of people.
The first one, it was a 2-stage event. It was like 150 people. It wasn't too crazy, but it was super cool. Like for my first event, I was like very happy.
150. That's wild. So my first event, people came. I think it was about like 80 people, and that was it. But it was just friends and the people that actually know, because we didn't really announce or anything. But I mean, for you, like I can see people like dancing, vibing, and it's like it's off the chart. How did you actually like promote your event?
We promoted the first one, just social media, TikTok, Instagram.
No way.
Like that. So we just post. Yeah, we would just post on TikTok. TikTok really helped for a good amount of the events that we were doing, and it would just come through, and it was cool. It was really cool. Just social media, really.
Yes. Yeah. So kind of use technology a little bit, social media. That's awesome, man. And
Definitely.
yeah. Do you remember how we met?
I don't. How was it?
I knew it. It's okay. I'm gonna remind you. I mean, I heard of you, since I think during COVID as well. I started a little bit different than you, because I started in 2018, and I was like DJing in clubs. Most of the time I did not go underground. And 2020 happened, and I met this guy, this person, Impulse. I think DJ Impulse. I think they're the one that actually mentioned you, and I was like followed you on Instagram at the time. But I actually met you in person at the, what is that called? Off the Grid. I think the first year, because we both kind of DJ there. Yeah, we both kind of DJ there, and I just sat down and talked to you a little bit, but it was a quick one. It was at night too, because you just got off, your stage. Yeah. So and that was the first time I met you.
It was cool.
Yeah, and then we kind of bump into each other like at events and stuff like that. And I changed my hair a lot. People don't recognize me when I change my hair, and today, I look so proper.
Professional.
Yeah. So that's how we met. So and so I'm like, wow, okay, like you doing so good. Like running events alone, like it's not easy already. It's no joke. So how do you manage time to actually like do creative things and also running events at the same time and produce your music? Because last year alone you dropped an EP and like maybe like some singles as well. Congrats on that.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I mean it's been a little tough. It's actually something that I have been struggling with lately, is balancing the time to do a little bit of everything. And because when I do focus my time on promoting the events, it takes away from producing. And when I'm producing music, it takes away from promoting the events. So it's been a little bit of a challenge, but I think for me the easiest thing has been really using social media.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I can be in bed and I can post as long as I got the content,
Yeah.
So that helps out a lot. Or if I just there are times where I'll be producing and I'm like, oh damn, I gotta post, and I'll stop producing for a little bit to do the post, or I can't find maybe the content that I want to. So maybe that'll be like a struggle, or maybe I don't have the ideas to make the promo that I want, and have to go and like for example, we have the Yoast tonight. So this week we had to go to the Yoast to do a promo video, and we had to like hope that it works or that it translates to people wanting to go to the event.
Yeah, yeah,
So
definitely.
it's a struggle. It's a struggle on the timing.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, you did it. Like I think the first track I saw it on Spotify. You have it out was I think 2019, and it's kind of different from what you making now. Like
Yeah.
like yeah.
Well, thank you for listening.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Who do you think you are is still like my favorite, and also Electric Jungle. So yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. What about you? How do you balance everything with school and work and music?
I honestly had a hard time balancing as well. So I'm actually doing school so that I can actually learn how to do this better. And again, like I started from club instead of underground, so I got paid. I used to get paid a little bit more. And when I was doing underground, because it's just like pure love, I love the people, I love the community. And even though like I didn't get paid like really well, but I was still doing it. And now like I'm releasing a few music and then a few tracks, and now I have to step back and take a look. Like, man, I don't know a lot of the business side of it at all. So now like I have to like learn everything and have to make sure like I don't lose money in the process, because I've been doing it out of love, and then I've been like losing money, like all the time. In even my music, I promote it more than like it's my baby, so I just put like resources to promote it. But then I think like the first track, the whole entire year alone, I got paid from a streaming platform. I think maybe like $10. $10.
Hey, don't spend it all in one place.
Yeah, yeah. So I haven't
That's
spent
good.
that money.
I mean,
It's still
that's
there.
right.
Yeah, and I had to pay
The
tax on
music
it.
industry is tough.
Yeah, yeah. So what do you think about streaming platforms? Do you think it helped, or hurt, DJs and producer?
Right now, I'm actually learning a lot more about it because I think right now we're in a time where I don't know if you have ever tried to upload an edit that you make on SoundCloud.
Yeah,
The copywriting is so crazy now. Like they take everything down.
Yeah,
So it's really tough to try to release some stuff. But I think if you're Spotify, I have friends that use Spotify.
yeah,
They get a lot of plays and stuff like that, and it helps them. It helps them.
yeah,
They'll make maybe not the most money in the world, but they'll make some money, and then from there, people. What I learned recently is that a lot of festivals, a lot of people that do big events, they look at your Spotify and they look at your monthly listeners,
of
and
course.
they look at that to decide
Yeah,
if they want to book you or not, and that's something that
yeah,
now I'm like, okay, I want to get in the studio to release on Spotify to
of
work up
course.
those numbers.
Yeah,
You know.
and yeah, I learned that the key is, like doing it, like monthly, because that way your monthly listener will actually continue growing. Yeah, because like if you
Yeah,
like
I
have a
heard.
gap, like each month it will keep dropping, and that's why I'm
Right.
like I really have to make music that I like. If I make music just to please people, then I'll get bored. Like for example, I started
Yeah.
to make some edits as well, on SoundCloud, and I mean, one of them actually like went on the chart and it was like a big hit. Check it out. You should check it out. It's also like like sort of tech house. I think you will like it. And now
Okay.
that we can't do it, so I have to take a step back and be like, okay, I can't just do things, like I can't just like walking blind anymore. I don't want to get flat. I don't want to get nothing.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, so now, yeah, I'm cooking like a lot of stuff, that will be coming out like, later on in this year and next year too, including like some edits. I wouldn't say edit. I would be
Right.
like more like a cover. At least, like I give them credit and also royalty that they deserve. But then I still get to actually put like the song that I like out. Even though I don't get anything. I don't get anything anywhere in the streaming platform. So that's my
It's
strategy.
all right. It's
Yeah,
a work in progress.
yeah, yeah,
Further down the line, that's what we're working
yeah,
towards.
yeah,
Be
yeah,
able to get stuff down the line. And
yeah,
right now, it's just putting in the work. So, like
yeah.
in the beginning, when I was DJing in the beginning, I was not making any. I was playing for free everywhere for like a whole. I want to say the whole first year, I didn't make $1.
Dude,
I was DJing everywhere just to get my name out there.
your
And it
name,
worked.
dude, your name
It
actually got
worked.
out there. Your name actually got out there. So
A little bit, and still trying. And I think the music industry is something so difficult to navigate that sometimes you find yourself like, are you gonna take the opportunity and play for free because the opportunity is so good, or do you want to get paid and
definitely,
maybe lose the opportunity? But
yeah.
it's a tricky one. For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, like yeah, I think that's a good point that you actually said, and people come back to like me personally, I have to actually think about like the value as well. Like for example, I follow like a few, promoters, a few events, and I have to kind of go back like, hey, this is the event I want to play or not, and the reason I want to play is not just like it's cool, it's more about like what they're trying to do, community based. They're trying to like help out, like the minorities, and they also like promote, this and this and that. So yeah, that's more like your values kind of have to align. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, no, definitely. Because
yeah,
then you gotta make sure that it's good for you, and then they gotta make sure you're good for their brand as well. You know?
yeah, yeah. So speaking of that, what inspired you to actually create Electric Jungle? What inspired you to say that I want to throw an event and it has to be Electric Jungle? Is there a story behind it?
Yeah, definitely. I think at that time I was like definitely just really hungry for wanting to get out there, wanting to put myself out there, and wanting to put my friends out there as well. So this was a time where it was very difficult to get booked by other people. It was kind of like, okay, I got the opportunity to throw events because I was able to bring people, and I was like, you know what, like I'm waiting around to get booked. Why don't I just do my own thing and then we just book ourselves? And that was really it. Like that was really a big focus of, what can we do for ourselves instead of waiting around?
Yeah, yeah,
And making Electric Jungle was, it just kind of came to me. The name just kind of came, and I was like, okay, cool, like Electric Jungle. And then after that, I was like, okay, cool. I started learning. Like I didn't have a full plan of what I wanted to do yet. I just kind of started doing it. Um, Someone came to me with the opportunity, like, hey, do you want to throw an event? What do you want to call it? And then in a day, like we put it together for like 2 weeks out or something, and then it just went from there. Like, and from there, I just kind of kept it going. So I was like, dang, I really enjoyed this. And over time, we started kind of doing like different venues. Started seeing, okay, what do we, over time, that's where the full vision of Electric Jungle started kind of going, like the sound. And we've done different events. So we've done like house techno. We've done some bass events in the past.
yeah, yeah,
So a little bit of everything. So I feel like with Electric Jungle, what it really is for me personally, is like for the artist,
yeah,
to be able to come and showcase their skills. And like a
yeah,
jungle, like you have a mix of different animals. So I would say like in the jungle, you have a mix
yeah,
of different,
yeah,
music, of different personalities.
yeah,
It's just like the jungle,
yeah. That's
It's
awesome.
kind of the whole idea.
Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, I really liked it. I still remember people dancing on the roof. I think that's how you got started
Yeah, that was crazy.
to get like vibe to go viral. I would say. And
Yeah, yeah.
you started
Those
in
were
the
crazy.
England Empire, and then you moved to the city and expand throughout like LA cities. LA, yeah, the city of LA. So that's so cool. Um,
Thank you.
yeah, and next question then. Let's go to next question. So what kind of advice would you give, to up and coming DJs and producer who are trying to make it into the scene?
I would say just go out there, go out there into the events that you want to be a part of, and just start meeting people. Work on your craft, of course. Try to be a really good DJ. Try to
Hmm.
make your music, but also go and be, if you want to be in the scene, go be a part of it. Also,
Yeah,
you have to go and meet people, be part of the community. Because if you're just trying to play and that's all you want, and no one ever sees you, no one's really, if you don't really care about them, why would they care about you? You know.
exactly, exactly.
So really, just trying to, talk to people, trying to get to know people, trying to just go out there and network. Networking, I think, is a very
Yeah,
big
yeah.
thing
There you
that
go.
can help propel you.
Yeah, there you go. That's is actually the next question because networking is important, especially in our community, and it's really hard for a lot of artists, to actually do. And that's also considered, for me at least, is considered a business side, of being a DJ. So yeah, and you just said it perfectly. So how
Yeah.
are you consider yourself an extroverted or introverted, or a little bit of both?
So when I was younger, I thought I was like a little extroverted. I think over time, I've been getting a little more introverted,
Yeah,
and I don't know, it's just because I've gone out so much that now I'm just like, man, I want to chill a little bit. But I
yeah,
love talking to people.
yeah,
I love talking to people. I think I'll be not like in between, a little bit in between, because there are times where I could just be a little more reserved, and there are times where I'm like wanting to talk to everyone. So I guess it just depends on the day.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
mean, I enjoy talking to people, so I
yeah,
don't have a problem ever talking to anyone, and meeting new
yeah,
people. I think
yeah.
is a part of life. Meeting new people, making new
That's
connections.
true. And I feel like personally, a lot of people mistaken, networking opportunity, and trying to present themselves, differently than who they really are. And
Yeah,
networking is not always about like you selling yourself all the time. It's always about like,
right.
hey, making new friends and become part of the
Yeah,
community and let people know who you really are. And that's why it's really hard for a lot of people these days. It's more about like, what can I get from you instead of like, what can you give? So
Right, right.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, no, definitely. I definitely see that. And I would think the best way to kind of go about it is think of it as like a backyard party, right? And if
yeah.
you're like, if you meet someone that night and you like just connect with someone just because they were cool, you guys are playing maybe beer pong together, and you
Yeah.
guys are just like, this guy's super cool, or this guy is super cool, and we hit it off, whatever. Now we're like really close friends. But then if you have someone that comes up to you and they're just like, oh, can I get $5?
Exactly, exactly. Because yeah, LA had so many artists, and then they still have to learn. Yeah. This is my personal question, actually. What do you think about artists that not completely developed or not ready yet? Like you said earlier, you have to practice on your craft. But some people just like, hey, go ahead and out there and just do it. And sometimes you go to events and you hear and you're like, oh well, it's a little, yeah.
I think either way, I feel like they should definitely still go for it if they don't feel like they're ready. Because if you go and you're not ready and you do horribly, you're not gonna let that happen again. You're gonna prepare next time.
You learn as you go. So, there you go.
Yeah, you learn as you go. And there's a lot of artists that I feel like they have maybe the other qualities, which could be like maybe stage presence, social media presence, but they don't have the skills yet. I mean, there's a bunch of producers that just started producing maybe this year, last year, and they're still passionate. They just don't have the skills, but they're still able to propel themselves in a way where, they can go ahead and still be an artist. But if you're never going to have all the skills and you're never going to be prepared with everything, because if you try to be the most perfect artist and just wait for the perfect timing will never come.
That's true.
I feel like you got to take advantage of whatever skills you do have and then just go for it,
Yeah,
so
totally.
That's how I feel about that.
That is so good. Yeah, that's a good advice right there. Just put yourself out there. It's vulnerable, but also, just be, kind to each other. That's what the whole community all about, So, just be kind to one another because everyone is, here to have a good time. And we're still learning and growing together. So, yeah.
Exactly. 100%.
Yeah. That's awesome. And I think the thing that I admire you the most recently, you've been like searching for young new talents because I'm on the same wavelength, because LA has so many, hidden talents. Yeah. And thank you so much for doing that, giving like opportunities to like new DJs. So that's very important.
Like I said, the reason I wanted to start Electric Jungle was because I feel like it was a time where it was very hard to get booked, and I feel like I'm in a position where I'm able to help others get those bookings. And if I see the talent or recognize that people want to do it, even I do have some people that are involved with Electric Jungle that may not be fully developed with their skills or talent yet, but they have the drive, the charisma, or the energy. And I feel like over time you can develop. You can teach someone how to mix, you can teach someone how to make music,
as
long as they want to do it. So I believe if, people really want to do it, they want to be a part of it, then I always welcome it, because I know how hard it is to try to, get out as an artist anywhere.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's why, like I have been like wanting to actually talk to you for a long time. Cool. Well, I have a few more questions, but, you've actually addressed a lot of them already. So I want to see like, what's next? What do you see yourself, in the next 5 years as a producer and DJ? And also, what do you see Electric Jungle in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years for Electric Jungle, I want to go ahead and do bigger festivals, do more events, do big events, working with bigger artists for sure, headliners, stuff like that. We're in the process of, right now getting more producer DJs. So just to curate even better, like curated nights with the music. And really with Electric Jungle, what I really want to work on is the visuals of when you enter an Electric Jungle event, the decorations, the vibe and stuff like that. We're right now in the midst of placing the right people, like hiring people that do decorations and set up and help manage the events and stuff like that. And as for myself, I'm trying to go ahead and play festivals myself, become a bigger artist, dive more into the music while my team goes ahead and, because at the end of the day, I started Electric Jungle because I really wanted to be able to create a platform for all of us to play music. And, I wanted to get my music out there. So right now I want to develop as an artist become a bigger artist, make more music, better music, you know?
Yeah.
And just, have essentially two different entities that kind of just do their own thing, you know? So
Exactly.
that's kind of like the goal that I'm trying to develop right now.
Yeah. What about your record label?
Yeah, Electric Jungle Records, that's something that I'm also working on. And I have a studio as well that so different things,
Yeah.
So different things that I'm trying to do right now. It's just kind of one thing at a time that I got to focus on, right? So right now I got to focus on Electric Jungle events, then focus on Novocaine music, and then Electric Jungle Records.
Yeah.
Then the Electric Jungle Studios and renting that out and stuff like that. So
yeah.
A lot of different plans, and back to time management is like trying to manage it all, and that's the hard part.
Yeah. So because you have a lot to do, you're probably going to rely on your team a lot. How big is your team right now? And what are the keys, components when you actually hire someone? What do you look for?
So right now I have about a little more than 20 people, but they're all a mix of different stuff. So they're DJs or they're media. A lot of them are DJs. Some of them are promoters, strictly promoters. And the people that I'm with are pretty much the same people that I started with, which is from the Airbnb days when we were doing the parties on the roofs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's been really cool to be able to have a lot of the same people involved because they know what my values are and my vision for the brand. So anyone that really aligns with our brand and anyone that aligns with what we're doing and really believes in what we're doing and wants to be a part of it, that's the kind of people that I want on the team, and people that are really driven, because I feel like we are trying to do something big, in the future. And if everyone believes in it, then I feel like that's great synergy, and it creates a very ambitious type of team.
Yeah.
That I feel like I have right now.
Wow. Awesome. Since we talk about the festival, right now, what are the key revenue streams that you actually generate for the festival? How do you utilize that in order to make the event successful?
All the events, everything that goes into the events, whenever we sell tickets to the events, that money just goes back into either that event or the next event. So all the money that's going into the events, as we're selling tickets, they just go to create a better experience for the next event, and just rolling it over, really, because all of that just kind of helps the fun of the event, like the festival that we've been able to do, the events that we've been able to do. In the beginning, it was tough. It was tough because, like Airbnb, we had an investor, and we have investors and stuff when we need them. But when we need the help, they'll help us out. But if we don't have, like in the beginning when we didn't have investors, we're just getting random lights, putting them on the floor. Like people were kicking them when they were passing by, and we're like, dang, like this isn't working, So now over time, we've been able to hire people that do lighting and hire people that do sound, and so over time by selling those tickets, we were able to save that money and use that money to pay for whatever it is we're doing with the next event. Hire people that actually know what they're doing, not just like me setting up one light here, one light over there, and stuff like that. It's been a progress, Yeah,
you definitely can do it yourself, and these are the expenses that people don't really see, that hosting an event takes the whole village.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of expenses, especially the bigger things that you want to do. Even some DJs costing, they could cost maybe $100 to sometimes over a couple thousand, depending on who you get and stuff like that. But, just all the money that we're making, just putting it back into the right events and stuff like that to just make them better over time.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, though. You have been very awesome, and also I would say an inspirational person. I'm so glad that you exist, and I've been in the shadow, following your success. And it's so good to see. Who's your biggest inspiration? Who's the DJ or producer that you listen to right now? Let's just wrap it up with that question.
Yeah, it's ever evolving. I think it started in the beginning, and it still is the same because these people continue to inspire me. They do dope stuff, but I think, you just kind of, the taste over time changes a little bit, but Green Velvet, a legend.
Yes.
Eli Brown, I love Eli Brown. And then lately I've been listening to a lot of Andres Campos. I really like his music, so it's a little heavier, it's a little more, but it's still around 130 BPM-ish, so it's the drums are heavier, but it's not too fast, it's not hard techno or anything like that, but right now, that's kind of what I've been listening to.
Nice,
just to curate the sound. A lot of the new people, I really like Mal P. I think he's doing really cool stuff. Dom Dalla, I've seen him. I feel like he always throws down. Matroda, the classics, people that are just really good in the game right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
Awesome.
yeah.
Thank you so much, like for sharing. And I think I don't have any more questions, so I wish you all the best and we'll be in touch. I mean, of course. So yeah, thank you for your time and I will chat with you offline soon.
All right. Thank you, Jay.